All right. Okay, good.
Here we go.
Anytime you're ready. All good.
Hello and welcome to the 82nd episode of the Overclocked podcast. That's overclocked with all the vowels. Overclocked ZA is how you found us. And if you're listening to us for the first time, that's how you find us any other time. I am Lindsey Schutters, that opinion guy on the internet, sharpshooters on social media. And I am joined as always by the editor of Tech Magazine. And Gavin, you promised last week we could say it this week.
Yeah, okay, very well. Very well.
Okay.
I am the editor of Tech Magazine, which is the biggest consumer technology publication in Africa. But I've now started a new venture that's running parallel with my magazine, and that's called Tech Radar South Africa. Tech Radar is one of the big international product websites with really in-depth product reviews across every tech category. And now we have a franchise to do this in South Africa. It's been very effective so far. I'm running around crazy, like a crazy person, trying to make sure there are locally available products appearing on all our best of lists, which is a specialty, you know, best laptops for going to university, best camera phones, best gaming headsets, all that kind of thing. I'm compiling those lists, working a lot on them to make sure there's South African products that you can actually get in our local market, even though we share a lot of content with Tech Radar sites all over the world. So do visit techradar.com/ZA for South Africa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Do visit and give us some feedback. But can I just bring up one other thing? Overclocked is looking to raise its game. And to do that, we need feedback from the listeners. Please email us, overclockedza@gmail.com. OverclockedZA, exactly like I say it. There's no punctuation, no big letters, little letters. Just write overclockedza@gmail.com. Give us any kind of feedback on the show, topics you want to hear about. Even, you know, make it personal if you want. Feel free to attack us. Lindsey enjoys being attacked on social media. So
I like fighting those people.
Yeah, send us an email. So encourage us to go further. All right, good.
Cool. Gavin, so we do this note as we set this thing up. We do a note in Google Keep and we refresh it for each week. And then we put all our thoughts of what we think is supposed to be in the thing, in the episode. And you have a table. You have assaulted me with a bit of Excel with all these bundles, weekly, daily. It's all MTN products. There's a very interesting little $6.99 per month for 60 gigabytes, of which they break it up for 2 gigs per day for 30 days. Gavin, why am I looking at this ugly table?
Well, what bothers me is that MTN claims that they're the first people to be delivering data at these prices. But to be honest, you know, I think one of my problems is I don't fully understand the prepaid market, because I think Lindsey and I have always been postpaid kind of people. We've always had contracts and that kind of thing. So it's hard for me to get my head around what prepaid people pay for data, which has always been traditionally way, way more than postpaid people. So, I mean, if we break it down, Lindsey targeted this one item here of the 60 gigabytes for 700 Rand, where you're getting 2 gigabytes per day. That would be, I guess, for someone working from home. If you're working from home using mobile data, you're easily going to get through 2 gigabytes per day. So that means your data quotient is going to cost you 700 Rand for the month. It's a kind of deal that might really work for someone who's claiming this back from their company, for example. So now the company knows 700 Rand a month, getting 2 gigs per day. I do assure you that 2 gigs will fly by in a blink of an eye.
Yeah,
2 gigs. 2 gigs is probably less than an hour of web browsing, in my opinion. So good luck with that.
Wow, what sort of web browsing do you do, bro?
No. Have you seen what modern web pages are made of? Modern web pages are like 2 or 3 megabytes big, man. It's completely absurd what's going on. You know, once they've got all the ads, the video ads playing in there, and all sorts of things. Yeah, it's crazy.
I like these little deals. They don't cater to me at all because I use the internet in spurts. So I don't know. I can't budget like my daily usage, whereas I kind of like to average out over weeks. So yeah, that would never really work out for me because again, I am in a privileged position where I can treat it like a utility. So it's like running water. Like we must always have. If you open the tap, I want to pour a glass of water. You know, I don't want to mess
it means you pick up a device, you expect it to be connected automatically all the time.
Exactly. Exactly. And then one day you get that little notification or your Instagram doesn't load and it's like, oh crap. Yes, that's a very expensive way to live. But what I have been, like I always use my personal little anecdotes. So we've been trying to move away because you've heard a lot now about the draconian Telkom LTE fair usage policy, which is 200 gigabytes of data at full speed, and then you get throttled down to like 2 megs. 2 megs up, 2 megs down, which is where we're at now for the rest of the month. So I've been looking at Rain, which is interesting. The LTE has no fair usage policy. You are limited to the speeds that the network is capable of. And
when you say there's no fair usage policy, it means you can just use as much as you can get. That's how it works.
Yeah. And the speed is limited to what the network can provide. There is a Rain tower probably 50 meters from my house as the crow flies. There's like an entire big road and bridge and stuff in between it, but it's about 50 meters from my house. So I get good coverage. But the video streaming is limited to sub HD, which is to them is 360p. So I upload my YouTube videos in 1080p, and I like to watch them in 1080p. I can't review.
Okay, for those who don't get how this works, the 360 thing that Lindsey is referring to will work out great on a phone. It'll look great on a phone. It'll look fine on a phone. As soon as you try and move to a TV set, it's going to look horrible. It's going to look like TV set from the 80s kind of thing, Okay.
So how everyone's like all the big YouTubers have started to go like wider with their videos now. So they're going to like 20 by 9, 21 by 9.
I just wonder why, because Instagram is still this horrible square thing, right? So I'm wondering why they're deciding to do that. Yeah.
But because all the phones, like the iPhone,
you're tipping the iPhone
now. It's So you're watching it in landscape mode. At 360p, you can't make the thing full. You can't get the automatic like sizing on your screen. So it's like always reduced, and then when you zoom in, then it cuts off on the top and the bottom and on the side, so it like zooms in, but it doesn't, and it's only at like 480p and up that it starts actually fitting to screen, which I found is quite interesting. Yeah, so that for me is a bit of a deal breaker on the Rain side.
Hang on, but just rewind a little bit. So you're saying that's what's happening with the Telkom LTE offering, or is that what's happening with Rain?
No, Rain limits their video streaming to 360p, and that is a blanket limit for YouTube, Netflix, everything.
Right.
And I'm sorry, I'd much rather carry on with my unlimited torrent of 2 megabits per second and be able to support whatever size I want. Just let it buffer, whatever. The drop down in quality is a deal breaker for me. And I sound like a snob, because I am a snob when it comes to that. But I can't see myself doing that.
Okay, so a couple of people complained about Rain claimed to be the first to roll out a 5G network, and we were all terribly skeptical about that, because it just didn't seem like such a bit player could have suddenly sprung up with a 5G network. Now it turns out perhaps it is. It might not be using the technology that we consider the superior technology. We don't know for sure what technology they are using. I don't know. But there is apparently a Rain 5G network, and it covers big chunks of Joburg and Pretoria. And My Broadband, probably one of the bigger tech websites in South Africa, actually went and checked them out, right? Because people were complaining about the speed on the Rain 5G network. And their tests were hugely positive. They're getting enormous speeds down their 5G network, like far, far faster than ADSL, and actually far faster than most people's fiber, which is interesting. I mean, they're getting speeds like, 300 megabit down and 42 megabit up. That's like far faster than most people's fiber internet, far faster.
Yeah, and
300 megabit down. Yeah.
That 20 millisecond latency is lightning fast. I mean, I wonder what they were actually testing it on and where those servers were pinging. But that's crazy speeds. I'm becoming a little bit of a 5G believer. I am.
As with all things, the first generation is going to be the roughest, and then it's going to improve. Okay, you can.
I'm still not. I was actually chatting with LG in the week, trying to get some product from them, figuring out when the V60 is coming, and I was like, guys, if 5G is the issue. I'm totally fine. I don't need to test 5G. I just want to test the actual product without testing 5G. Because at the moment, I think 5G is only available in Century City via Vodacom for us.
That's right. And the V60 is the only phone with 5G available at the moment on the market in South Africa. I think
V50 and V60.
Yeah, we're going to see that change probably over the next few months, especially if Huawei launches the P40 as we expect. The P40 Lite is launching tomorrow. But I don't think it has. But the P40 Lite that we're getting, I think, doesn't have the 5G. I think. I'm not sure.
The full P40 series is launching tomorrow. There is a live stream on YouTube, a pre-recorded live stream. A couple of interesting, exciting little surprises being sprung there. They've just signed up Minnie Dlamini, snatched her up as the flagship influencer.
Where did you find out about that, by the way? I didn't see that. Where did you get that?
That broke on social media yesterday, I think, last night.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't an official announcement to the media. You just picked that up on social media.
Yes, I just picked that up on social media. They put it out on their channel, so Huawei South Africa put it out on their channel. Yeah, I'm quite excited to see what they are going to be bringing to South Africa. Like I've seen the original product launch little webinar that they had.
All right.
There's all sorts of things that they're doing. They're bringing Me Time here, which is their FaceTime competitor. So I was watching. Let's just go hard on this now. I was watching a review of the new MatePad. So the MediaPad is now the MatePad, and it looks like an iPad Pro current gen. It looks like the same thing. They're just aping Apple as they are known to do. But what I noticed was, so they've aped everything. So on iPad, you can do like split screen stuff now, and you can pull in like an extra little floating window from the side. So they've done all those things, but obviously they don't have the same app compatibility. And just from the animations in the video, when the guy was like going through the whole spiel, it just looked like just a touch slower. And then remember back in the day when Samsung had, I think it was Samsung Flow, where you could project a tiny little screen of your phone on your Samsung tablet.
Okay, don't remember it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, they've killed off Samsung Flow subsequently. But like Huawei's doing that now. So Huawei are sitting where Samsung were probably 2 years ago in terms of their software integrations. And then their hardware, they're just trying to ape whatever Apple's doing. Because I like the fact that the P40 has the front-facing, much like the LG G8S ThinQ, has the front-facing time-of-flight camera, so you can use that for secure face unlock, which is really good. And I mean, Huawei went quite a long way to get their face unlock on their Mate 20 and the Mate 30 to work quite well.
Yeah, but you're like deep in the weeds here, and you're so deep in the weeds that you are unable to see the massive elephant in the room, which fortunately for you, we've covered in Tech Magazine, the upcoming issue of Tech Magazine. We're actually talking about how Huawei is set to shake up the whole mobile phone world by breaking the duopoly of Apple and Google over smartphone operating systems. Okay, the short version, if you've listened to this podcast before, almost every single podcast we've ever done has brought up this darn issue. And now, finally, a year later from where we started bringing it up, which was in the middle of May last year, it has come to a head with the launch of the P40. And that is that Huawei has been excluded from using Google's applications on its phone. So things you just take for granted, like Gmail and Google Maps, and in particular, the Google Play Store. So without the Google Play Store, you can't get Facebook, you can't get Instagram, you can't get your Uber app, you can't get your standard bank app, because all that is being done through Google's Play Store, which is an app on the phone. And now Huawei has been excluded from having that. So the problem is Huawei now has to find a way to get all those apps onto its phone, or else no one will use its phone. Would you use the phone if you can't get WhatsApp, if you can't get Facebook, if you can't get Instagram, if you can't get Standard Bank? Would you use a Huawei phone? Imagine with no WhatsApp? Hard to imagine. So they are hard at work trying to make that work for people. And the way they're doing that is getting these apps developed inside Huawei's app gallery. So the Huawei app gallery will replace Google's Play Store. And in that way, Google will become one of the new players alongside Google and Apple because it will have its own ecosystem and environment. But it will number in the hundreds of millions of users, which will make it a huge force to be reckoned with. So it's very hard going. I mean, the Google Play Store has been around 10, 11, 12 years, I think. So, to catch up with the kind of offering they have is very hard for Huawei. But that's what they committed to, because they committed to breaking the control that America has over the smartphone market through Google and Apple. It's two operating system environments. We've discussed this ad nauseum on the show, but the P40 will be the first phone that demonstrates this for real, and that's what's launching tomorrow. So it is tomorrow, right?
Yes, the 28th. It's launching on the 28th. You'll probably hear this just before or just after that whole spiel goes live. So park that.
Okay, right. We did go a bit heavy there, but then we didn't want to skip a single episode where we don't bring up the Huawei thing.
I was trying to focus directly on just like software integration and like the hardware ecosystem and how everything interoperates. Because Samsung, with their, like we spoke about it last week, they moved closer to Microsoft. So like your Samsung Cloud account is now can be unified with your OneDrive account, which is amazing for us who use Microsoft 365. And then just like I had it for later in the show, but for me using like the S10 Plus, the S10, the Galaxy S10, and getting the S20 Plus finally in for review now. These phones, like the S10 in particular, has improved significantly over time, where it launched with Android 9, has upgraded to Android 10, brought in all of those things, then was upgraded to One UI 2.1, which has all the goodies that launched like on the Note 10 and on the S20. That's brought it to it. So the camera's improved, the camera functionality has improved. They've brought back like the Pro video controls for one, which is great. And then there's like little things. So like DeX has improved even, which is Samsung's desktop operating system. So you plug in your phone to a monitor and you can pull up like the DeX mode, attach. I use it a lot. So that's now gotten the new keyboard shortcuts and like trackpad shortcuts, and it's got all these things. And then I noticed today that Samsung Internet has now gained the ability to request the desktop app, the desktop versions of web pages natively, and it's switched on by default when you're using.
Explain to us why that's an issue. Why would you want the desktop version of a website rather than the mobile version? Why is that such an issue for you?
So when you're browsing, specifically when you're browsing like on a big display, the mobile versions of apps try to like limit everything to one column, and then you just get like this really wide.
Packs the page into a thin, narrow column view.
Whereas if you're getting the desktop version, it can scale dynamically to like your window size and all those sorts of things. And it just handles it a little bit better. And especially in your Google search, you can unlock like more powerful tools when you're using the desktop version. So the phone, like the sites still know that you're using a mobile thing. So if you launch certain things, it will probably launch in the app instead of in the web page. But there are like little things where you can set that as well. So it's become like this powerful thing, and it's what I've wanted Samsung to do with DeX, the direction that I wanted them to take it into ever since like iPadOS launched and the new Safari mobile, where it does that trick all the time in the background. You don't have to like do any settings and stuff. It just like tells websites like serve up your desktop version. I'm a desktop browser, and then the websites are like and then they're like now actually.
Okay, but you reference Safari, but okay, I know Apple's integration of the phone into its PC has been like a long and complex but very effective play. I can't remember exactly how it works. So if you have an iPhone, how do you integrate it with either a monitor or with your Mac PC?
I mean, you don't. So on your Mac PC, your iCloud account, if you get a phone call, I think is it called Continuum? I think it is.
Yeah, it's called
If you get a phone call on your iPhone, it rings on your Mac, and you get a little pop-up dialogue, and you can answer it, and then just interface like that. And if you get like your messages, I actually had to switch on my wife's one, because we had a situation earlier where she was on the phone and then she got the code for my son's extramural thing. And then I was like, I'll just fetch your iPad and pull up the message there. And then I realized she hasn't switched that on.
Okay.
So
Okay. But now this only works if you have an iPhone and a Mac PC. It wouldn't work with
Yeah.
a monitor. There isn't a way to connect the phone with a monitor the way you're connecting your Samsung phone to a monitor.
Yeah. So I like Apple wants you to have a Mac and an iPhone. Or
You don't say.
At least an iPad and an iPhone. Because they believe that if you want to do serious work, you want to do it on a bigger screen and you don't want to do it on your little phone. And I'm with them. I'm there because the integration, they built in so much into the integration between the two. There's the AirDrop as well, which is a proprietary file sharing system.
AirDrop is definitely a thing. Yeah. Okay.
Like Microsoft have tried to come on board now with the Your Phone app, which kind of does that thing.
I tried to love it, but it was just so impotent. It just added nothing to my experience. I could already send files quickly to my PC or just through the cloud. I didn't really need to do much more than that.
I've never actually. So the promise was you could drag and drop files from your machine, your PC, to your phone, and that just never materialized for me. I haven't managed to get that working
I think
at all.
It always bottlenecks on Bluetooth. Bluetooth is only so fast, and then it doesn't matter how good the connection is. It just always seems too slow. Yeah. Okay, but I think
Huawei's solutions that they're bringing out are just two steps behind everybody right now. It's like Samsung's been there. They've like given up on that already. They've built better tools.
See, but maybe Samsung's timing was bad. You see, maybe a Huawei's timing will be perfect. Maybe they hitting at the right time,
but by making bad versions of the thing that Samsung already did.
So to be honest, I've lost the thread of what we were discussing, but it is worth mentioning that we bring up Samsung's DeX all the time. That's where you take your phone and you plug it into a monitor or a TV and you get a full-size PC type experience on the screen, on the big screen. Huawei has exactly the same functionality. Again, not quite as refined as Samsung's, but the same basic functionality. You can take the phone and plug it into a TV or a screen or a monitor of any kind and have the phone perform like a PC on that screen. Yeah. So, sorry, where were you?
Which is great. Yeah. So, like, for me, like Samsung, they've really come a long way, even with the Galaxy Buds and like with the AKG headphones that I'm wearing right now, just those sorts of Bluetooth interactions. Galaxy Buds are a great product now. The Buds Plus, please don't buy the Buds if you can afford to buy the Buds Plus. The microphones are better. The battery life is better.
Battery,
The sound is better.
Much better connectivity,
So they've sorted out that entire ecosystem. Apple, they were always chasing Apple. Everyone's always been chasing Apple because Apple has built that out like from the ground up. And then now Huawei's coming into the fray and they're like, oh, we also have these things. And it's like, cool, you have those things, but those things are a little bit crap. But yeah, we'll see what P40 brings. I'm very excited to get my hands on it.
I think the P40 is going to kick ass. I think it's going to kick ass. I think it's going to be a big moment for Huawei. I think they've got a lot riding on this. I think they've packed that phone with good stuff, I think. And I think it's going to work like a bomb.
In the periphery, you then have LG, who are like also trying to play like the desktop mode game. They've switched that on for V60. And I think in the Android 10 for the G8 family and the V50. And then they've also they're bringing Velvet. So Velvet, we spoke about it last week, is the G line is now
the upper mid-range.
Velvet, yeah, the upper mid-range. That is coming to South Africa. It's been confirmed. No pricing or launch details yet, but it's coming here, which is great. And then they just quietly also added full active stylus functionality to Velvet as well, plus a dual screen. And then it's like, what are you guys doing? I'm very interested in what you're doing. I love the way you handle the whole idea of cameras. I love your whole audio experience, and I'm willing to go with you on this little experiment. I can't say that I'm willing to do the same with Huawei because, like last night, I got invited to collaborate on a Google Doc. Like you won't be able to do that on a Huawei device. Point.
Okay. All right. Okay. It's complicated that. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to getting the new P40 as soon as possible, hopefully even within the next few days, so we can actually test drive all this stuff. But I feel like we must move on a bit. What else you got? I'm interested in this CyberSpot free internet. I don't know if you want to go there, if you want to move on with something else.
I don't. You run us through it, man. Free internet is
Okay,
always
I'll
fun.
just quickly. Okay, so CyberSmart might be an ISP you've never heard of, but they've grown in leaps and bounds, and they're very highly regarded by their very loyal customer base. And they've gotten a lot bigger than they were, so they're a big player now. They're offering free internet access. Get this, free internet access to anyone. Just free internet access. The trick is the data cap is very low. So whether you have ADSL or fiber, they're only offering you 20 gigabytes for free. That'll be fine if you're just sending a few emails, doing a bit of shopping, maybe doing a bit of banking. But if you're actually a serious internet user, 20 gig will last you like less than a day. Well, I don't know. Very short time anyway. They're giving you 100 gigabytes after hours. So if you want to do mega downloading and if you want to watch streaming TV and stuff like that, you can still do it after office hours. So there is that. But that really just is a sort of a taster for their real offerings. So then if you want to top that up with unlimited data, you can take that out on 30 Rand a day or 200 Rand for a month. So for 200 Rand, you get unlimited data on the CyberSmart package. So these are all just lockdown specials. It's worth looking into. Why don't you look into the CyberSmart lockdown specials and see if you can get a free internet package from them where you're only paying for unlimited data at a very low rate anyway. Worth looking into.
That's super cool. I'm fully on board with that. Just small things. Sony put out the new vlogger-centric version of the RX camera, which is the ZV-1. So instead of the screen flipping up, the screen flips sideways. They've ripped out the viewfinder. They've put in a new mic. They put on a hot shoe, which is interesting because it's not the same hot shoe that they use on any other of their cameras. So you can't use the same.
No, that's annoying, man. Hot shoes must be standardized, man. Surely. Jeez. Okay. For those who don't know about cameras, I'm not going to bother to explain what a hot shoe is.
I'm super excited about that. They've opened up the aperture again to f1.8. And yeah, they've brought down the focal range, but yeah, that's cool. That's a new camera. Then Apple broke iOS for a little bit, or at least they broke apps with iOS. The iOS 13.5 update that a lot of people got this week.
You might want to listen to this carefully because this might have affected you. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
When you opened up YouTube, for instance, like my wife did after I urged her, she was having some problems with her phone, and I was like, update to iOS 13.5, and then she did, and then she opened up YouTube, and YouTube gave her a dialogue message, and they're like, this app is no longer shared with you. And then you click through and you go to the App Store, and then you go there and it only gives you the open button, so you then have to like delete the app and reinstall it, and then it works fine. So they messed up a setting in the signing of the app or like the security certificate or something, and they just quietly tried to reissue app updates overnight. Like some people were getting like 100 app updates or whatever.
Oh.
And yeah, that was just like how not to issue a software update.
Oof, especially not if you're paying mobile data rates like you are. Good gracious. It's like it'd be hundreds of megs. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
I don't want to miss this one about TikTok. Okay, TikTok is like weird, man. I don't know how I got sucked into TikTok, but I did. I don't do social media generally, but I got sucked into TikTok. Luckily, I haven't uploaded anything to TikTok, but I do watch a bit of TikTok in like my 2 moments downtime I have every day. Just to get some perspective on how the company's doing. So last year, Google posted about $15 billion in ad sales. Last year, Instagram posted $20 billion in ad sales. Last year, TikTok, a company you've probably never even looked at, posted $17 billion. That's between YouTube and Instagram. TikTok has made $17 billion in ad revenue. And of that, $3 billion is pure profit. So interesting. Take a look at TikTok. It's now regarded as the most valuable startup in the world. And they're attracting some talent, including people from Disney and other places, to expand the product further. Another Chinese mega success story there, along with Tencent and a few others. TikTok now pulling in revenue somewhere between Instagram and YouTube at $17 billion.
Yeah, their CEO, the new CEO, Kevin Mayer, he comes over from Disney. He was in charge of, did he set, I forget. He was the president of something.
Disney Plus or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so I think he's there just to kind of build that relationship with the US market, because
Okay.
TikTok has that China badge on it.
Yeah,
It's been tainted by that brush. There's always stories about the security problems on TikTok and all these sorts of things. And yeah, I'm interested to see where that goes. I enjoy it a lot. I've been trying to make sense of it. I don't know how I fit into like the TikTok kind of content situation.
Yeah, we say all this without actually explaining to people what TikTok actually is. I mean, if you've never used TikTok, you don't even know what we're talking about. TikTok are little video clips, basically. Video clips play full screen on your phone, and you can just like them and flip through them in advance and follow people and so on. Much like Instagram, except video clips. Yeah.
It's like if everything was Instagram stories.
Okay, that's a good way.
More fun. Like there's more interesting creator tools there. Like you can do like synchronized dancing, or like you can pull up different audio clips. There's people doing what I love about it is, unlike Instagram, it actually has the ability to edit the video clip within the app, which is great. Whereas Instagram forces you to like edit it somewhere else, and then you just upload the whole thing to Insta Stories. Whereas TikTok, you can actually record and edit within the same app, which is great.
Right.
This brings me on to another...
regarded as a young people's game, by the way, so you might feel a little guilty if you enjoy it a bit too much, like I am. But okay, have a look. It's worth it. Right.
It's interesting that we have that conversation, because obviously we're bringing this to you we're recording this on the 27th. So last night, our president spoke to us and said that churches will be reopening under lockdown level 3 in South Africa, which would be from the 1st of June for the most of the country. And as someone I started a religious podcast with an archdeacon, just to give people a product that they can consume within their homes that will give them like 99% of the same experiences they would have going to a church where they can't have like a Eucharist sort of thing. So now you're going to have the most vulnerable sections of our society, the most vulnerable to death by COVID-19, flocking to churches, even if they're limiting to numbers of 50. I was with Cyril, I was with the government, with all of the regulations up to this point. Like, this is not the smart move. And I think, and I'm going to be petitioning at least the Anglican Church of South Africa, through the contacts that I have built up over the years, to give creators like me who are willing to put out talents to work the opportunity to produce shows where these people don't have to go to churches. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
can I just slay your position with one word? One word. And that word is fellowship. The whole point is to interact with other people of your faith, right? So that's going to be so much harder. I mean, the podcast is like a sort of a one-to-many stream kind of effect. It's not really fellowship at all. It's not, and not only is it not fellowship, it's not real-time fellowship, which is what these people all get into, I'm guessing. Yeah.
I feel you on the fellowship thing, but the dangers involved are like far worse than what the benefits.
Obviously. What I'm saying is that
like fellowship is broken, man. Like we had a voice note from my son's at preschool, from the principal, and she was like kind of laying out what the plan is, like when the kids start coming back or whatever, whenever that happens. Because preschools are in this weird space where they were being handed off from the Department of Social Development to the Department of Education, and then COVID happened.
Mm-hmm.
So they stuck in this weird limbo. But like they're obviously kids who nap, and they need to work out the protocols around like nap time. Like, they need to figure out, with the help of government, like if you can distance enough so that the kids don't have to sleep with masks on. And then it's like fundamental learnings or lessons that you learn in like just your development is now going to be stunted, where they can't play with the same toys anymore. So like turn taking and sharing with your friends isn't going to be a thing. Every kid is going to have a little box of like their own shapes and colors and whatever that gets packed away every day. And if you opt to rather do the remote lessons like via Zoom or something, like they will send the box to you so that when you do reintegrate, the box can just come in. And it's like, no, kids are, you learn the most, you develop as a human being by interacting with other people
with your peers.
without barriers in place. It's like the world that we're going to live in now is just it's just a mess, Gavin. It's just a mess. But luckily,
but you are so far off topic. I can't even begin to bring you back. In fact, the rope on the life jacket that I threw you isn't long enough, so the life jacket sort of fell like 50 meters because you're at least 100 meters out.
Yes, but tech can bring us together, and like we said last
bad save.
The best way, the quickest way to up your Zoom or video conferencing game where you're talking to other people is to put the microphone in front of your face. That is the best advice we can give. And if you are wearing a gaming headset with one of those boom poles that brings the mic in front of your face, that is the best opportunity. And we have found on Takealot, our tech treasure for this week, I have found the Corsair CA901121 EU Raptor HS30 analog gaming headset. $900 on Takealot right now. I think that's the actual price. It's not on special. 5 to 7 days delivery. So they're getting it from Silverline IT, fulfilled by Takealot. But the Corsair CA901121-EU Raptor HS30 analog gaming headset. It's got the boom mic. It's Corsair, very well known in the industry. Gavin, what's yours?
Sure. I am frantically, you kind of caught me off guard because I hadn't done my homework. What I'm going to recommend is the following.
Oh, that was $900, by the way. The Corsair was $900. So
if you have a gaming headset, that would be the best, because gamers, most gaming today is kind of internet-based gaming where you communicate with team members and so on. That's what the microphone is actually for. It's to tell people, use the sniper rifle, go left, go left. He's going right. You hear them yelling at each other. That's what the boom mic is for, is to interact with team members. But as a result, the audio is extremely high quality on gaming headsets. So that's what you want to go for. If you don't get a gaming headset, then I would recommend you look at Plantronics. Plantronics made its name making headsets with boom mics for people who do a lot of office calls. Yes. Or, or executives in the C-suite, like, Wall Street type brokers. Or call centers, okay. And the quickest way to track down their headsets would be at Headset Solutions Co.za. Look at Plantronics from Headset Solutions Co.za. And look for, you can get single headphone with boom mic, or you can get double headphone with boom mic. Otherwise, look at their gaming headsets where you're guaranteed high quality.
The other one I found, it's just a 7.1 virtual surround sound gaming headset in black and red. It's perfect. 630 Rand. I have no idea what brand it's from. It's in stock right now. There are 4 left at that price. The normal price is $900. But one thing about gaming headsets are, so most of them are like over-ear things, and they're quite comfortable. So you can wear them for like long periods of time and not like get fatigued by wearing them. And then like they have like these weird things where it's like a 7.1 virtual surround sound. So like you have to be able to give you all the atmospheric sounds when you're in a first-person shooter or something. But it then does contribute to a very good listening experience when you're talking to a lot of people.
Yes, and the music qualities of good headsets, of good gaming headsets, are also underrated. So this one has got an interesting effect. As I keep talking, you will notice that the headset starts turning off. When I raise and lower the boom, it automatically mutes the microphone. So that's just a quick way of, I think a lot of them work that way because, you'll be gaming and your friend will come into the room or your cat will jump on your desk and you don't want to hear what you're saying.
Hey, Gavin, you're muting yourself all the time. This is an audio product. Primarily an audio product that we produce. We are on YouTube, though.
Yep. Do we want to discuss my Microsoft sticky notes, or you want to carry it over for next week?
Let's carry it over for next week. And next week, you can also give us a full rundown. You can even compile it in your sticky notes of all the different muting shortcuts for Zoom, for Skype, because you blew my mind last week with the Zoom space button thing. That really blew my mind. Yeah, if you didn't know, you can mute your mic and then just use the space bar to do like a push to talk button, which is amazing, actually.
Like a walkie-talkie, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Otherwise, we're all good.
Yes, we're all good. There's a lot of commentary about moving to the different levels, schools reopening, a lot of Cyril stuff happening on the website, thatopinionguy.co.za. I have S20 Plus in for review, which is going to be great. I am finally producing my video on the Nokia 9 PureView, which is an incredible camera phone from last year that flew under the radar. And I'm doing a deep dive on the whole Samsung ecosystem and workflow on there, and that's on That Opinion Guy on YouTube. I'm Lindsey Schutters, Sharpshooters on social media, SharpSchutters, and I'm done for this week. Gavin, what about you?
Right, so Tech Radar is my new project. So go to techradar.com. You can go to /en-za for English South Africa, EN-ZA, or you can just go to techradar.com, and from the drop-down box at the top, you can select South Africa using the little South Africa flag. You'll get our local version. And there, the most recent updates I've done are all on headphones. So you'll find best of lists for all different kinds of headphones, and those have recently been upgraded with what I consider to be the best of the best headphones. Some of them are very affordable. Do check out the headphones on techradar.com. Okay. Otherwise, We're all over and out. Stay safe, guys.
Cheers. All right.